Hello my dear students, I welcome you to NEET World. So we are discussing about concentration terms, right? So in the last session we have discussed few important concentration terms and also the relations among the concentration terms and also few numerical questions on those particular terms which we used. Okay, so here we will be continuing the same session with a few more concentration terms and the numericals which are asked in the other competitive exams like JEE, NEET or EAP set. Okay, so we will be discussing about mole fraction now. So what exactly mole fraction as we discussed in the last session. So just recap the same thing here first. So how do we define the mole fraction? It is the number of moles of a component to the total number of moles of all components. For example, if a solution is made up of A and B, I already explained this. If a solution is made up of A, B and also some C is there. So these are the components of the solution. So solution is made up of A, B, C. Okay, so let us say this is a ternary solution. Okay, now what is the number of mole fraction of A if I ask? How do we do this? Okay, so let us say in order to make this solution, let us say Na number of moles of Na number of moles of A is taken. Similarly, Nb number of moles of B is taken and Nc number of C is taken. Let us say then mole fraction of A is given as number of moles of A by total number of moles. So what is the total number of moles you can write? So total number of moles includes N total is equals to, so what are the components we have? A, B, C. What are the respective number of moles? That will be Na plus Nb plus Nc, right? So this is how we need to find total number of moles of a particular solution. Okay, so you just take here Na plus Nb plus Nc. So this is what you need to write in the denominator. So total number of moles of all the components in that particular solution you have to take. So you can generalize this as Na by N total. Okay, so now if I say for A, you should take by Na by N total. If I ask for mole fraction of B, you just need to take Nb by N total. Okay, similarly for C, chi C equals to, you should call it as chi, Chi symbol. Okay, now mole fraction of C is Nc by N total. So this is how you need to write the formula. Okay, then next if I ask what about total number of moles? So what is the sum of mole fractions of this particular solution? So chi A plus chi B plus chi C is how much if I ask? So just give a try from your side. So here, see here I am saying chi A will be Na by N total and chi B will be Nb by N total, chi C will be Nc by N total. So here what about this Na plus Nb plus Nc? So just now we have seen here Na plus Nb plus Nc will be considered as N total. So which means here in the denominator we can take it as Nt which is I am taking it as Nt, and in the numerator we have Na plus Nb plus Nc. So Na plus Nb plus Nc is nothing but N total only. So we have N total by N total. So which means 1. So what is the sum of mole fractions of all components in a given solution? It will be equals to 1. So if any solution is having with mole fractions of the component mole fractions like this, if we consider this sum that will be equals to 1. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now if for example if a solution is made up of, if a binary solution we have, if I am saying a binary solution means it is made up of two components. How many components are there? Two components. So here it is called as ternary solution because it has three components, and binary when it is having two components. Now let us say A, B are the components of the solution. A and B are the components of the solution. Now the sum of mole fraction is chi A plus chi B is equals to 1 we can write, right? So in this if I want to find only number of mole fraction of B, we can make it as chi B equals to 1 minus chi A. I hope this is clear how we are writing this kind of relation, right? So just send this side. Okay, so this is about mole fraction. Okay, so now I just want to discuss few more things with some questions here. Okay, so now the mole fraction of glucose in the solution made up of 2 moles of glucose and 4 moles of water. So a solution is made up of glucose plus water. Okay, so how many moles of glucose is taken? Number of moles of glucose is 2 moles, and water is NH2O is how much? NH2O is 4 moles, right? So how can we calculate mole fraction of this glucose? What is the formula of glucose? C6H12O6 you can write, and this is what I am asking. And one more thing is mole fraction of water also I am asking. So how do we find these things? So I just told you that if we want to calculate one particular mole fraction of one particular component, so you can take it as, for water we can write mole fraction of water equals to number of moles of water by total number of moles. So how do you find total number of moles? So here what are the components we have? So N total or NT equals to, so N glucose, so N glucose plus N water. So what are the number of moles of glucose we have? 2, and total number of moles of water we have 4. So overall it will be 6 moles. So total number of moles are 6. Okay, now so for glucose, how do you write this? NC6H6O6 C6H12O6 is equals to, so how do we write? So N glucose, NC6H12O6 by N total. So N total. So how many moles of glucose is there? We have only 2 moles of glucose, right? So N total is 6. So you can write 1/3 mole fraction. So there is no unit for mole fraction because it is a ratio, right? So when it is ratio of same same components, I mean total, like numerator and denominator is having same units, right? Moles and mole. So therefore it has no units. Mole fraction has no units. So you can write like this, or you simply make it as 0.33. Okay, you can write like that also. Okay, so if I ask for water, how can we solve this question? So you can directly solve here. N total is 6, or N water is how much? 4. Okay, so you can write it as 2/3, and you can also solve this as 0.667, something like this. So you can do in this way also. Okay, so we have one more method also. I just told you that if the solution is made up of 2 components, we can say binary solution. So for binary solution we can write N glucose plus mole fraction of glucose plus mole fraction of water is equals to what? Sum will be 1. So we know for glucose this will be 0.33, then N water will be 1 minus mole fraction of glucose, then that will be 1 minus 0.33, which is equals to 0.67. Next we have normality. Okay, so what is the next term we have? Normality. So how do we do this normality? See, we have studied about molarity, right? Molarity. So what we studied in the molarity which is indicated with capital M. So what we studied? Number of moles of solute present in volume of solution in liters. This is what we have seen there. Okay, now when it comes to normality, so here instead of saying number of moles, here we are saying number of equivalents. So what do we mean by equivalence of solute here? So this term is very, very important to understand first. So if you are understanding this point, so it will be very easy to interlink what exactly molarity and normality. Okay, so I just wanted to explain what exactly equivalence, then it will be more easier. So now normality is indicated with capital N here, and this will be written as number of, see, for molarity we told number of moles of solute by volume of solution in liters. So here you have to say number of equivalents of solute. Let us indicate solute with B, number of equivalents of solute by volume of solution in liters. This is how you need to write. Okay, so in a short form, let us say number of equivalents as number of gram equivalent number also same thing by volume in liters. Okay, so what exactly this number of equivalents we will be seeing now. Okay, so when we are saying 1 mole, when I am saying 1 mole, what we are getting from these, this is a substance like having like, you know, 1 mole means which contains like how much amount it contains. It contains its molar mass, which is equals to its molar mass, right? For example, I am saying 1 mole sodium. If I say 1 mole sodium, so how much quantity it contains in this 1 mole sodium? It will be having 23 grams, right? So this is the molar mass of sodium, right? So now if I say 23, see, if we say 1 mole sodium, so it will be like during the reaction, so it will combine in the reaction in such a way that by releasing 1 mole of electrons, it will become Na plus, it becomes Na plus, and 1 electron is released, right? So for 1 electron, how much mass of this particular, how much amount of this sodium is consumed? It means for every 1 mole of electron, so 23 grams of this particular substance is combined or involved in the reaction, right? So these 23 grams is now considered as 1 equivalent. I hope this is little bit clear. So if you see a few more example, it will be more clear. Now see here, what I told you, for every 1 mole, how much amount of this particular substance is involved in the reaction. Okay, so when a particular substance is releasing or absorbing some 1 mole of electrons, so how much quantity of the substance is involved in that process? For example, here I am taking calcium. So what is so how this will be involving in the reaction? So it will be having 2 valency electrons, therefore it will release those 2 electrons and it will become Ca plus 2 and 2 electrons are released. Let us say consider like this. Now here see, for every 40 grams, how many electrons are releasing? 2 electrons are releasing, right? So what I told you, the equivalence means, number of equivalents means we have to consider for 1 mole of electron. So for every 40 grams of calcium, we are getting 2 moles of electrons, right? But what I am saying, the equivalence means the quantity, the amount of this particular substance released or combined in that particular process for every 1 mole of electrons. So if I want only 1 mole of electrons, here we have 2 moles of electrons now. So for 1 mole of electrons means you need to divide it by 2. So simply, so here also, so that we are 2 by 2 means we are getting 1 mole. So here also you need to do same thing. So it will be 20 grams. So for 1 mole of electrons we are requiring this 20 grams only. So this is what the equivalence. Okay. So this is what the equivalence. So for 1 mole of calcium, how much amount is utilized here? 20 grams, right? For 1 mole of electrons from sodium, in order to get 1 mole of electrons to be released or involved in the reaction, so it should be 20 grams. So this 20 gram is considered as 1 equivalent. What is that? So 20 grams is considered as 1 equivalent. So how many these equivalents are present in this 40 grams? So we can write 40 grams as 20 grams and 20 grams. It means how many equivalents are there in 1 molar mass of calcium? That will be 2 equivalents. So I can say, so equivalence, number of equivalents equals to its valency factor into number of moles. So if I say 1 mole, see here, see how many electrons are released? 2 electrons. Now this is what its valency factor. So now if I take 1 mole of this calcium, how much I have taken? 40 grams of calcium is nothing but 1 mole only. No? So if I say 1 mole of calcium, so multiply it with this 2, because how many electrons it is released? 2 electrons. So I am multiplying with this. So how much we are getting? Number of equivalents equals to 2 into 1. So that is what that number of equivalents is 2. That is nothing but 20 and 20. These are the 2 equivalents. I hope this is clear from this explanation. See, understanding the equivalence is one of the most important, because most of the students will get confused in this part only. See, I just want to give few more, little more clarity on this equivalent concept. So just look here. So when I say aluminium, 1 mole aluminium, I am writing 1 mole aluminium. So it will become since it is releases 3 electrons from the valency, so its valency factor is considered as 3. Now we can write Al plus 3 plus 3 electrons. Okay, so if I say 1 mole electron, 1 mole aluminum, it means what is its molecular weight? 27 grams, right? So 27 grams, in order to involve 27 grams, so it is how many electrons are involving in the same process, participating? 3 electrons. Now what I told you, 1 equivalent means we have to check only for 1 mole of electrons only. This is for 3 mole of electrons, right? So 3 mole electrons, the quantity is 27 grams, but for 1 mole of electrons it should be how much? It should be how much? So in order to make 3 to 1, so you just need to divide it by 3 parts, by 3, so that we are getting 1 mole. So here, since here you are dividing with 3, so you can also make here by 3, so which means we are getting how much? 9 grams. It means for 1 mole electrons, how much quantity of aluminum is involving in the reactions? So it will be 9 grams. Now this you can consider it as 1 equivalent. 1 equivalent. I hope this is clear. So how many these equivalents are present in this 27 grams if I ask? So there will be 3 parts, right? So 9 grams, 9 grams, 9 grams. So if I say, so if I ask in 1 mole how many equivalents are present, so just write number of equivalents equals to, so number of moles into, see in 1 mole how many are there? 3. So our n factor is 3. N factor you can take, that will be 3 into 1 mole. So that will be 3. So equivalents are 3. What are those? See, 9 grams and 9 grams and 9 grams. These are the number of equivalents one should understand from this. So for simply you can remember like this. So simply you can remember number of equivalents equals to n into n factor. So what is n and n factor here? N means number of moles of that particular component, particular substance. So here if I say 1 mole aluminum, you should take 1 into its n factor. It means how many valency electrons it has, or how many electrons will be participating when it is reacting with some particular element or particular chemical reaction. For sodium it will be 1. Okay, for second group elements it will be 2, for third group elements it will be 3, something like that. I am making the simplest formula, that is n into n factor. So n factor you can say, or valency factor you can say. So how to consider this n factor? So based on the number of valence electrons which are participating in the chemical reactions, right? Okay, so now what about acids and bases? So when it comes to acids and bases, so for acids, number of H plus ions it is releasing. So it means, for example, HCl, if I say 1 mole, so it will releases 1 H plus 1 Cl minus. So its n factor is 1. For H2SO4, it will be releasing 2 H plus and sulfate ion, right? So n factor will be how many H plus ions it is released? 2. So n factor to be considered as 2. So if I say base also, so if I say base, so yeah, so let us say CaOH twice. So how many OH minus it will be releasing? Ca 2 plus plus 2 OH minus. Okay, so it will be n factor will be 2. Okay, I hope this is clear how we are considering for acids and bases. Okay, for NaOH only 1 OH minus will be released, so it will be n factor will be 1. Okay, so this is how you need to take. Yeah, so now when it comes to the basic fundamental part here, what is the formula we have? Number of equivalents by volume. So number of equivalents, what I told you to write, so number of normality equals to number of equivalents, that will be number of gram equivalent number, also I can say in the short form, by volume we are writing, right, in liters. So this can be again written as, so number of equivalents means what I told you, so you can write it as n into n factor, right? Okay, n into n factor by volume in liters. So now check this, n equals to n by v, number of moles by volume in liters, that is nothing but molarity into n factor. So what is the relation between normality and molarity? So normality will be equals to molarity into n factor or valency factor. For example, if I say 1 molar sulfuric acid H2SO4, then express its normality. So how can we write its normality? Concentration in terms of normality. See, the given concentration in terms of molarity and asking in terms of normalities. So normality of that solution can be written as, so molarity into valency factor and saying. So what is the valency factor sulfuric acid? Just now we discussed in the number of replaceable H plus ions. So if I say one, like how do we find this normality? So like N factor here, valency factor, how do we do that? So if I take 1 mole of this sulfuric acid, how many moles of like H plus ions is released? That is what its valency factor. So it is releasing 2 moles of H plus ions. Therefore we can say here, so what is its valency factor? It will be 2. So molarity is given as 1. Therefore normality will be 2. So I hope you got some clarity. There is some difference between molarity and normality, and the relation will be normality equals to molarity into valency factor. Okay. So this is how you can remember. Okay. So now similar to number of moles, what is the number of moles formula we have? So number of moles we are writing it as, number of moles we are writing as weight by molecular weight, right? Gram molecular weight we are writing. So sometimes, so when it comes to equivalence, number of equivalence is equals to, so how do we write this equivalence now? Same, weight by, here instead of saying gram molecular weight, we should say equivalent weight. So what is the difference here? Number of moles equals to weight by gram molecular weight. Here number of equivalents equals to weight by equivalent weight. So how do we write this equivalent weight again? So equivalent weight will be written as, equivalent weight is equals to molecular weight, gram molecular weight divided by its valency factor. So now just check here, number of equivalence equals to, see here what I told you, number of equivalence, I mean from here to here I am writing here. So again write weight only. In terms of equivalence we can replace with this now. So equivalence can be written as gram molecular weight by valency factor. It means I can write here. So weight by gram molecular weight means what? It is nothing but number of moles only, N factor. So which we have discussed here, number of equivalence. So this formula and this formula you can remember for doing numericals. Okay, I hope this is clear how to differentiate molarity, normality and the relation between them. Yeah. So now here this is what we have seen. So what is the valency factor for like bases? I told you, number of OH minus ions released. So from CaOH twice, how many OH minus will be released? 2. Therefore its valency factor will be 2 and molecular weight is this much, 74. If its molecular weight is 74, so what is the relation between equivalent weight and molecular weight? So I told you equivalent weight equals to molecular weight by its N factor. So N factor for bases will be given as number of OH minus ions released. How many OH minus ions released here? So that releases 2. And what is its molecular weight for CaOH twice? It will be 74. This gives us 37. This is how we did. So similarly for sulfuric acid, how we are going to do? Equivalent weight equals to, how do we do equivalent weight? Molecular weight of sulfuric acid. Molecular weight of sulfuric acid is how much? That is 98. And what about its valency factor or N factor? So 1 mole of sulfuric acid releases 2 moles of H plus ions. Therefore its valency factor will be 2. So you can write here it as valency factor which is 2. So you can use the term valency factor, N term based upon whatever the way you you can. So here it will be giving 49. So this is the equivalent weight and this will be the molecular weight. I hope this is clear how you are getting these things. Okay. Next. Okay. So here, so just you need to remember what is the relation between normality and molarity. So what is the relation? Normality equals to molarity into valency factor or N factor. You can remember this thing, you have to remember. Okay. So while doing some questions, that will be very helpful. Okay. So here in this topic, just see here what we are discussing. When two solutions are mixed, for example, I have a solution with concentration M1. So I have a beaker. In this beaker, let us say I have an acid in this beaker. So with concentration M1 and the volume of this particular acid will be V1, let us say. And I have one more beaker here. In this beaker also I have another like one more acid and with concentration same like M2 and V2. So what is the concentration of this particular acid? M1, and volume is V1, and this is one more container having the acid with concentration M2 and V2. Now when we mix this together, so I am taking a third container, so in which this second one and first one are mixed. Therefore now concentration will be changing, right? So let us say that concentration will be M3, and volume also changes, right? If it is 50 ml, this is also 50 ml, so it will be nearly equals to like how much? 100 ml it will be. So we can say M3 V3. Since the volume changes and concentration changes, so now what is the value of this resultant solution? What is this M3 I am asking? So how much concentration this solution have when these two different concentrated solutions are mixed? Okay, so I am saying these are of same nature. I am saying both are acids, so both are bases, something like that I am considering. I am not taking one acid and one base, taking both as acids only. Let us first understand the thing when we mix two solutions of same kind, then we will go to the other one. Okay, here let us find this. So we can find this by taking like this. So the resultant concentration can be taken as, so M3 V3 equals to M1 V1 plus M2 V2 you have to take. So here if I want only resultant concentration, then M3 can be taken as M1 V1 plus M2 V2 by V3. So what do we mean by V3 here? V3 is a total concentration, so resultant concentration. So V3 is the V3 is the resultant volume. V3 will be the resultant volume. How we are getting these? So we are adding V1 amount of acid 1 and V2 amount of this second acid, right? So you just add V1 plus V2, which is equals to V3 plus V2. So if you dilute the solution by adding some water, so you can also add that V whatever diluting here, so V dilution also you can add. Okay, so let us see one question based on this that will give us more clarity. Okay, so here we have a question like saying if 0.1 molar acid, of volume how much? 20 ml is mixed with 50 ml of 0.2 acid, HCl. So what is the resultant concentration of this solution they are asking. So how can we calculate M resultant? M resultant will be M1 V1 plus M2 V2 by V1 plus V2, right? That is what V resultant or V3 I told you. Okay, so you can make like this. Now how can we make this? So what is the M1 concentration? That is, let us say this is M1 V1. So M1 is 0.1 into, what is the V1 here? 50 plus, what is M2 here? 0.2 into, what is V2 here? 50 by, what about V1 plus V2? V resultant you can take. So V resultant you have to take here. V resultant here they told that 50 ml of this acid and 50 ml of this acid are mixed, and what is the resultant concentration they are asking. So V1 is 50, V2 also 50, therefore you can take it as 100. Okay, so take it as 100. So how much we are getting? 5 plus how much it is? 5 and 0, and it will be 1 0 by 100. Okay, so we will be getting 15 into 10 power minus 2 molar solution, 50 molar solution or mole per liter you can say, just you can write 0.15 mole per liter. This is how you can express the answer. I hope this is clear how we are solving. If the same solution, if the same question they are saying and solution, I hope this is clear. I just want to extend little more for the understanding little more concepts over here. So if the solution is diluted to 200 ml, if they say 200 ml, if they say 200 ml, if they say, what you need to do? So M resultant you have to take this, whatever the term you have, same thing you can keep over here also, M1 V1 plus M2 V2. So you should take here V resultant. So what is our V resultant now? See, this is diluted to 200 they are saying now. It means take these terms like this only, like 5 plus 10, but in the denominator what we are getting here, so it is diluted to 200 now. That 200 you have to take here. Why you have to take 200 down? Because the solution is by adding some water, so it is like volume is increased to 200, from 100 to 200 is increased, therefore you need to take the total volume here. So that is why I am taking here 200. I hope you got how we are doing this kind of questions, right? So the next thing is give a try for this question from your side, and see this question you try first and just keep the answer with you. So I will be explaining this answer, whatever the like homework questions which I am mentioning here, that will be explained in the upcoming video. But so my intention is to be done by yourself instead of depending on the others. Okay. Next, one more thing we have here. See, dilution law. So what is dilution law? Now here in the previous case we have seen both acids are mixing to form a resultant solution. Now we will take the opposite case. So let us say acid and base is mixed. What happens? So when acid and base is mixed, what happens in this case? Okay, so solution will be neutralized, right? So solution will be neutralized. So now I just want to give you this, and also one more term, one more case also there. Let me check the question is there or not. Yeah, question is there. Yeah. So here when acid base neutralization taking place, so how can we do this? So for example, acid having concentration M1 and with the volume V1, okay, and base having concentration M2 and volume V2. So now this acid is neutralized by adding this base. So this is what neutralization reactions we can study, or we also seen acid base titration also. There this concept only used. So I will be adding few more questions for this also. Okay. So now, so when neutralization taking place, what happens? So equivalence, we just now we have studied now, equivalence of acid will be equals to equivalence of this base. So what do we mean by equivalence? I told the number of equivalents, that is what I am writing here. So equivalence we can relate normality equals to number of equivalents by volume in liters we have written. So N into V, which is volume, is equals to number of equivalents we can write. So equivalence place I can replace with NV of acid, which is equals to, similarly for base also we can write NV of that base. Okay, here I am writing N into V here, but I have given in terms of molarities, right? So in this case what we can do? So in this case you need to take it as, so what is the relation between normalities and molarity? Normality equals to molarity into valency factor, I told you. So just take here for example, what is the normality here? For example, I am writing molarity, normality here it is we are having, but concentration is in terms of molarities. So just write M1 into N factor of this acid into volume of this acid, okay, which is equals to N, we can replace with M2 into N factor of this base into volume of this base. You can take like this, okay. So this is how you can write, okay. If you want you can try this question. The concentration of NaOH of volume of 100 ml volume used to neutralize 1 molar 50 ml sulfuric acid. So this is how the question is asked. So what I am asking here, what is the concentration of NaOH used? So concentration of NaOH used. So I want this concentration in terms of molarities. What I am asking, you have to express your answer in terms of molarities. I have given the remaining data. So now tell me, how can we do this? So just you need to use equivalence of acid equals to equivalence of base. So now see the data regarding the acid is given, but they are asking about base by giving its volume. So how can we do? Equivalence of acid can be written as N acid in volume of acid, which is equals to N base into V base. We have to take like this. So what is our acid here they given? So they given it is sulfuric acid. Directly you can write, okay, sulfuric acid. So here the given base is NaOH, sulfuric acid and NaOH you can write. So now tell me, what is the normality they given? Do they given any normality? No, they given molarity only. So what is the relation between molarity and normality? So normality will be molarity into N factor, I told you. So what is the N factor for sulfuric acid? It releases 2 H plus ion, therefore it have N factor as 2. So what is the molarity? It is 1. So normality will be 1 into 2, that will be 2 I am writing. I hope you got how I am writing this, or if you want you can take one more step extra by writing N into M into N factor into volume of this sulfuric acid, which is equals to M into V into N factor into V of this base NaOH, right? You can write like this. And here what is the molarity they given? Molarity is 1 for acid and N factor will be 2 for sulfuric acid, and what is the volume they given? 50. I hope this is clear. Okay, now this side, what is the molarity they given? They are asking us to find, right? Just write as it is. What is the N factor for NaOH? You have to take it as 1 only. And what is the volume they have given? That is 100. Now we have all the remaining data except this thing. So now this is for molarity of NaOH we are finding now. So what is the molarity of NaOH now? Molarity of NaOH will be 100. Here also 2 into 50. This is also 100. So we are getting it as 1. So what is the molarity of NaOH? We got 1 molar NaOH solution is used to neutralize 50 ml of 1 molar sulfuric acid. I hope this is clear. Okay. So this is what the neutralization reactions we use, and this will be studied in redox reactions. Okay. So but here itself as we are discussing basics and very important PYQs, so it will be discussed here itself. Now just check this question, just give a try for this. See here what they told, 20 ml of 0.1 molar HCl is added to 30 ml of 0.1 molar NaOH. See, one is acid, another one is base. Here we need to use one more concept here. To this solution 50 ml of water is added. So this is a 30 ml base, 20 ml acid is mixed, along with that 50 ml of water is added. Therefore total dilution or total volume will be 100 ml, right? So that's how you need to understand that. First, what is the molarity of final solution they are saying. So how do we find the final, how do we find this final molarity of solution? So we have, if both are same, what we are doing, M resultant equals to M1 V1 plus M2 V2 by V total we are writing. If both are of same nature, if both are acids or both are base, we can take like this, or you can take in terms of N1 V1 plus N2 V2 by V total we have to take. Okay. Now but here it is acid and base, so in that case what you have to do is, so tell me which quantity is more here, base is how much and acid is how much, we need to check first. So what is the M1 V1 quantity of acid here, MV quantity of acid, you tell me. So MV of acid is how much? First you need to find this, and MV of base is how much? So why do we need to find this? First tell me. See, what is the formula of number of molarity formula? That is N by V in liters, right? So now I am multiplying M into V, means what we are getting here? We are getting number of moles. So the one which is having more number of moles, the resultant solution also contains that that particular substance only, no? Okay, because remaining things will be neutralized. The one which is having extra quantity, that will remains in the solution and that will decide the nature of the solution. To understand it more clearly, let me tell you, I have NaOH of 5 moles. I have NaOH of 5 moles and HCl of 3 moles. Now tell me, so after mixing the solution, what happens? See, this 3 mole will neutralize 3 moles of base, but remaining out of these 5, 3 moles will be neutralized, but we are remaining with 2 moles extra NaOH, right? Then it means what? The resultant solution will be basic now. I hope this is clear, because 3 moles only acid we have, but 5 moles of base we have. Out of these 5 moles, 3 moles can be neutralized using these 3 moles of acid. Remaining 2 moles will be remains unreacted, and that will make the solution to be basic. I hope it is clear. Okay, that's why first you find number of moles of this acid and base, then decide whether the solution is acidic or basic. Okay, so why do we need to find this? To decide whether solution is acidic or basic. So what is the M they have given for acid? 0.1, and V is given as 30. Okay, here we are getting answer in terms of millimoles, because ml we are taking. Therefore, millimoles of acid is how much? This will be 3 millimole of acid we got. Similarly, for base we are getting N base will be, or N I can write MV of base will be how much? So that will be, so this is for acid they given it as 20 ml, 0.1 into 20 you should take. So this will 2 millimole. For base we are getting 0.1 into 30, therefore it will be 3 millimole. So you have to take it like this. Okay, so now tell me which quantity is more. The base is more, right? Because it is 3 millimole, this is acid is only 2 millimole. So in this case, so what is the formula we need to use is M resultant equals to some, like you can keep mod, that's it. So MV of acid minus MV of base, C base, divided by V total you have to consider. See, if both are of same nature, if both are acids or both are bases, just sum them, like M1 V1 plus M2 V2 you have to take. If they are opposite nature, like acid and base, neutralization if we say, so that you should minus it by like applying mod. Therefore, what we are getting here, so for acid we got 0, like 2 millimole, for base we got 3. So 2 minus 3 or 3 minus 2 we will be getting 1. Since we have mod, there is no thing to talk about minus or plus charge. Okay, and what is the total volume we have? See, the total volume we have here given is, so just check, this is 20 ml acid, 30 ml base, and extra 50 ml of water is added. Total volume is how much? So 50 plus 50, it will be total 100 ml we got. So this will be 10, like 10 to the power minus 2 we can write, or you can also make it as 0.01 molar solution. So option B is correct. I hope this is also clear. Okay, so whatever we discussed in the last 15 minutes, that will be very important. Okay, so now tell me, in the last session I told you what are the terms depending upon temperature and what are independent. So how can we identify? It depends upon like what? If the given term, concentration term, contains any volume term. So if the given concentration term includes any volume, then we can say it will be temperature dependent. So now tell me, molarity contains what? Number of moles of solute by volume of solution. So it means it has volume term, therefore molarity depends upon what? Temperature. They are asking about temperature dependent. Okay, now what about mole fraction? Mole fraction will not depends, because it will be like mole fraction of A can be written as Na by N total. So there is no use of volume term in this particular expression. So this is independent. So similarly, weight percentage also will not be depending upon what? Temperature. What about molarity? Molarity can be written as NB by weight of A, I told you. So there is no volume term. This will also be not depending upon temperature. So only option 1 is correct. So this is previously asked NEET question. Okay, so now guys, one thing I wanted to do is, so I just wanted to project some questions over here. So just give a try for these questions. So in the next session, in the continuous session itself, so I will be solving all these numerical questions. I just brought this to make you feel confident and give a try from your side, because all the time when you copy from a faculty when he is solving on the board, so that won't makes you like feel confident, but just give a try from your side. So and we'll check whether you are able to solve or not. So if you are solving, that will be very good, so that will boost your performance. Okay, if not, in the next continuous session itself I will be solving all these questions. So just take the screenshots of these questions first. So here I have included this question also, and the next this question also you can take. So give a try from your side. So you should not go out of this class now. So you need to sit like that and you have to solve the question, then only you can go from your place. Okay, so do not close your books. So first give a try from your side, then only you can go from that place. Yeah, so solve all these questions. So I thought of solving now itself, but most of you are not solving. So I hear this, the students are not solving the questions without having any support from others. So just give a try from your side, and if you are able to solve on your own, that will be well and good. If not, I will help you with the upcoming lecture. So sit there itself and do the questions, and okay, thank you. Happy learning. Let's meet in the next session.